Are you stuck in a bad place because you did something wrong? Do you feel like there's no way out, there's no hope, that the only way you can go is to keep going that way or to go get worse? I'm here to tell you right now that it's not too late. It's never too late until you're dead. As Salma Hayek said, if you did something wrong, don't go down because of it. Your mistake is a valuable tool for growth. I did a video about this topic before, but I wanted to try to approach it from a different viewpoint this time. And I want to give you hope. When I was younger, I made mistakes. I made bad decisions. Fortunately, at least one of those decisions, which would have been probably just about the worst decision in my whole life, events caused me to turn away from that path, and I'm grateful every day. I made other lesser bad decisions that I knew that what I was doing was I was lonely. I wanted somebody to be with. I wasn't emotionally ready for marriage. And yet I would sleep with women because I felt like, well, maybe if I do that, then it'll get rid of the loneliness, but it never did. And eventually I stopped because it didn't help. There are many, many, many examples of people who have gone down the wrong path and then turned it around. Some of them are real and some of them are fake. The famous actor Danny Trejo, because of his uncle who had shown him kindness when he was locked in his parents' car during the blistering heat of the day while his family had a party outside, pulled him out of that car and set him on a road of criminal behavior because his uncle was a drug dealer and a gangster and eventually became a drug addict. And Danny eventually became a drug addict, was imprisoned for armed robbery in San Quentin, and became so feared that other inmates would hire him and his group to protect them. And then when he got out, he made a conscious decision to turn his life around, and he did. He has started a charity, I believe, for autism, and another one, I think it's called Tacos something or other, and to feed the homeless. And he's really, really done some amazing things, and he's only one of many, many people. So if an ex-gangster, drug dealer / addict / convict can turn it around, you can too. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be easy because you're going to have to fight the habits that have built up in your mind. The longer you've been going down the wrong path, the path of self-destruction and societal destruction, the harder it can be. But you have to be strong. You have to make a choice and fully commit. It's not it's not like a diet. It's a lifestyle. It's a change. And so every time you start to slip up, you have to say, whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. I'm not going down that path again. You have to pull yourself out, and you have to surround yourself with people who will be supportive. Now, I'm not saying go out there and get yourself a guy or a gal to have at your side, because if you're messed up in the head, you could hurt them. I found that out the hard way with my wife. I thought I was ready for marriage, and I wasn't. I wasn't a horrible husband, but I certainly was far from the husband I wanted to be. So surround yourself with friends and family who will support your goal, and stay away from the people who will pull you down, who will drag you back into that life that was destroying you and other people. You have to. I realized that some of those people that were so bad for you were your also very close friends. But you cannot save them. You can show them the way. You can change your life and let them know, look, I love you, but I got to get out of this. It's killing me. I can't do this anymore. Please respect this decision. And do it. And then maybe they'll see. Maybe they'll see that you've succeeded, and they'll believe they can succeed too. And maybe they will, and maybe they won't be strong enough, because it takes strength of will. It also takes persistence. It takes facing your demons, your inner demons, which is a metaphor for all the bad habits inside of you. There are no demons in you. You're just making bad choices. You're following the instincts and habits you've developed over years and years and years of life. Take all of that, and the more that you work to be a good person, publicly and privately. You can't just do it publicly, because then you're not doing anything. All you're doing is creating a false image publicly. You have to do it privately too. As long as you do that, you will be fighting those bad habits, and literally your brain will rewire itself over time. Literally. There are nerves in your brain that are associated with each bad habit that you've got. And when you don't do that bad habit, you, figuratively speaking, starve those nerves. Because when those nerves don't get used because you're creating a new habit, they get downgraded by your brain. They become thinner and weaker, and eventually they're gone. Now, if it's an addiction, it's a long time, I think, before it'll be gone, or, and I'm not even sure if it can ever fully be gone, but you can fight these things. And as long as you stay away from the wrong things, you can change them. I know people who got off of drugs and stayed off for decades. One of them, my friend Becky, unfortunately didn't get off soon enough, and apparently she perished because of complications that started during her drug use. Nice lady, very smart, very kind. I lost touch with her while I was in Indonesia, and when I came back, I couldn't get a hold of her, and I think she's gone. But that's not the point here. The point is in order to change from who you are to who you want to be, from being this person that is destructive of yourself and others, to this person who brings light into the world, who makes this world a better place, who helps other people, builds up other people, and helps yourself. You have to stop doing everything publicly and privately that you know to be bad. And starve those bad habit nerves by doing the good things instead. So every time you feel like, oh, well, I'm just going to have one more bowl of ice cream. One more. You put that ice cream away. You stop buying ice cream. It's a lot easier if you don't have ice cream in your fridge. And every time you get that urge, instead of getting a full bowl, get a half a bowl. And the next time get a quarter of a bowl. And the next time get an eighth of a bowl. Or just don't, period. Now, if you are a food addict, and that is literally not a joke, okay? If you are literally a food addict, your body produces something similar to morphine to reward you for eating those foods that are killing you. So you can try talking to your doctor about getting a morphine blocker and seeing if that helps you. If, say, for example, you start getting angry with somebody and you realize it, because you have to learn to be more aware of what's going on in here. You take a step back instead of taking a step forward. Instead of being aggressive and saying, "What did you say? What did you say?" You step back and say, whoa, 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 whoa. I can't do this. I got to take a time out. I got to chill. Something. Back away from the situation. You don't have to show any signs of weakness. You just say, just back away from it. Keep your hands up. And if the person's being aggressive with you, you defend yourself. And hopefully everything will be okay. But, if it's a non-violent confrontation that you're turning into a violent confrontation, either verbally or physically, you need to just back off. And keep doing that every time, publicly and privately, whether there are eyes on you, whether there are cameras on you or not. You always have to consistently fight it. And if you fail, that's okay. Did you at least try? Every time you try and fail, don't give up, because what happens if you fall down and you don't get up? You stay on the ground because you tried and failed and gave up. But what happens if you fall down and you get back up, and then you fall down again and you get back up, and you fall down again and you get back up? Like when you were learning to ride a bicycle. You fell down a few times, I suppose, unless you're just one of those people who are naturally designed to have all the right faculties to be perfectly capable of riding a bicycle for the first time. And the more you rode that bicycle, the more you learned to walk as a baby, the easier it got, and the less often you fell until you stopped falling. It's the same thing. Now, I know it doesn't sound like the same thing. It doesn't feel like the same thing, because riding a bicycle or learning to walk as a baby is not the same thing as beating the crap out of people every time you get angry. But what's happening up here with your nerves creating habits and your amygdala recording what those habits are supposed to be, that's the same thing. Because your amygdala doesn't know the difference. It just knows there's a level of threat, a level of danger, and it responds. So you could get freaked out because of an interview. You could get freaked out because of a test or an exam. You could get freaked out because you are being observed doing something. There are lots of things that could freak you out. If your amygdala, which is a little reptilian part of your brain that responds to stressful situations, it can't tell what it is that's caused. It could be a tiger right in front of you, and compared to something else that's equally stressful, your amygdala won't know whether there's a real tiger or if you just feel like there's a tiger. So don't give up. Keep on improving yourself. Some things will change readily. Some things will take a lot of time. And some things will be somewhere in the middle on that whole spectrum. It's not a on-off kind of thing for most people. Now, I have heard stories of people who said, I just made the decision and I did it. That is very rare, and usually, but not always, I would suspect, it requires something major happening in your life for you to be able to just turn it all around like that. Unless you have extremely strong willpower. So, again, I want to repeat what Salma Hayek said. If you did something wrong, don't go down because of it. Your mistake is a valuable tool for growth. You can do it. You can become your best you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.